is dividing our culture in some ways, or is it too late to unite? I don't think so. I say, let the music give the answer. Come on. Hey, Scotty, how come my buddy Sam Kinison isn't here with you tonight? Huh? Let me introduce, zip it! Let me introduce Homebase up here for you. We have Stuart Goldman, who was a rock critic, right? We got Joey Ramone from the Ramones, all right? And we've got buddy of mine, we got Ace Frehley, one of the founders of KISS, all right? Let me start with you, Stuart. Then Homebase, of course. Homebase, we got at, I should say at Loudmouth number 1, we've got Steve Whitaker, and at my buddy Alex Mitchell, all right? Circus of Power. Stewie, baby. Yeah. Rock and roll has always been called the devil's music. You remember that from when you were a kid, yes. Right? When Elvis appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show, they didn't show him down below the waist, all right? Told not to shoot him down there. Is what we're seeing and hearing today any worse than the 1956 gyration?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because when Elvis came on, he was original. He started something. You mentioned Bob Dylan before. Bob Dylan was original. Shut up. This guy, I've seen this guy 8 million times. This guy's going to have a day job in 5 years from now. We're never going to remember him. This is not original. This is just some gimp that looks like he crawled out of a garbage can.
Why? What does he look like? He doesn't look like a garbage can. He's a friend of mine, pal.
There's 8 million bands in garages that play just like that.
How much do you know? All right, now you just made the move on him. How much do you know about his music?
I heard it. I've 3 chords.
How come you told our guitar player backstage that we sounded good?
Good guitar player.
Just do me one favor and tell the truth here, okay?
What was his last album? You remember his last album?
I never heard of this guy before.
What is his present album?
You probably even know one title of one of the songs.
I never heard of him.
That's because you don't know
then
what
how come you can nail him?
What are you doing here?
How come you can nail him? You're nailing him like so many other critics, baby.
No.
Like so many other critics without knowing what the hell is behind
I just heard him now.
You're nailing him. Why don't you go marry Tipper Gore?
Sorry, you.
Why don't you marry someone like Tipper Gore?
Why don't you marry G. Gordon Liddy, pal? You want to make me into a bad guy.
I don't want to make you into a bad guy. You make yourself into a bad guy.
No.
You're attacking something you don't even know about. No. You've never heard their music.
I just heard it.
All right. Okay. Now, you've been around rock and roll since you were a kid.
Love it.
This is a guy who's been around rock and roll since he was a kid.
I think
he used to sing with the replacements for the Kingston Trio. That's like, that's like singing for a replacement of a urinal, man, you know. Now, he's knocked you because you got a few, whatever the hell is stuff.
Well, don't you think, Mort, that skin prejudice is the worst prejudice in the world?
Skin prejudice?
Skin prejudice. That's like if you're putting down a black man or putting down the guy with tattoos because of the way his skin looks.
No,
you're a pretty weird character.
I don't care if you have tattoos. It's just that
wait a second.
So
the last show you were putting us down for our look. Now maybe I don't dress like I'm out of a Sears catalog or whatever.
When's the last time you washed your hair, pal?
You got them on.
When was the last time you washed your mouth?
Hey, Ace, see, look, let me get to Ace. Wait a second. We're not getting anywhere here.
Didn't we hear this stuff in the 60s?
Didn't we hear it 20 years ago, 30 years ago? Man?
Go get a haircut. Go wash your hair. Bathe every day.
In L.A., no, but that's what you want to make me. But what I'm saying is...
Don't take cheap shots at me.
This is Kmart. This is Kmart. You're a dime a dozen, man. I've seen guys like you walking down this street. There's nothing unusual about you. I don't care if you have tattoos or don't. If you want to have that for the rest of your life, good for you.
Ace,
I used to have stupid hair,
too. To you. Oh, we're getting nowhere with this. This guy should have been a dermatologist, not a critic, right? Let me get to Ace. Ace, let me ask you about, you started a group called KISS that created a whole new look
well, not
for
just
rock
me,
and roll.
But, you know,
all right, okay. Now, what were you trying to do? What were you trying to do? Were you trying to convert rock and roll fans, or were you trying to create them into satanic cults?
Satanic cults and all that had nothing to do with it. We wanted to put on a rock and roll show, not only great music, but we wanted to put out a visual show that was just as good as the music.
All brought about not necessarily by a new generation of music, by a new generation of electronics, of lighting, and everything else. You tied it all in, made it a total entertainment package.
I mean, a lot of people think, you know, KISS are multi-millionaires. For the first 5 or 6 years of touring, we broke even on the tours because we spent the amount of money that we made on tickets, we put right back into the show to make the greatest show in rock and roll.
Joey, the Ramones are the, I guess you would say, the fathers of punk. What is the credo behind punk rock?
Well, I mean, like,
well, let me tell you, my daughter, Joey,
right, you know,
Joey, my daughter came home from going to dances, right? She came home with a bloody lip when she was 13,
you know what it is?
with scratches.
It's an attitude.
She did slam
you know what
dancing.
it is? It's an attitude. It's an attitude, whether it be Ramones or Elvis Presley or Jim Morrison, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I know.
Look, the guy can't even articulate. He can't even talk.
My daughter came home, all right? Little Kelly came home when she was a kid, 13 years old. She's 22 now. She'd come home with bloody lips and noses, and she had her hair done in checkerboard squares, blue and yellow hair. It was really neat, man. I really dug it. I dug it so much I shaved her bald. She wanted to lead her class, so she let it bald.
Conceptual there.
That was conceptual? Oh, let's talk about politics, all right? Before I do that, I want to go Steve. Steve, where's Steve? Steve. Okay, there you are, babe.
Right.
You guys are the Mr. Cleans of hard rock. Yeah. Would you like to hassle any of our other guests because of what they do in hard rock?
No, not at all. I think the problem is that a lot of the bands, and these guys already in an earlier show, accept the fact that we're accountable for what we do as bands, and we put out mass music and media and everything else, and there has to be an accountability for what's going on. And we had our first American tour last year. We'd like to give you a T-shirt, Mort, if you'll accept this.
All right, nice.
And we saw.
That's a large?
Yeah.
Where you sell those, in Japan?
Huh? T-shirt companies know what they're doing. That's nice. We saw too many thousands of people who
does not,
get influenced.
Does not, I hope, have Jimmy Baker and Tammy on the back.
No.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, I'll wear that. I'll wear that out to California. And I'll bring one up. You got an extra one?
Yes,
I'll bring it home to my girlfriend, all right?
Okay.
Lori will get one. Now, okay, you guys like to stay clean. So that means you don't get involved in problems with sex and drugs.
No, we're trying to make a difference. Exactly.
When you're making a difference, are you making a difference in the statement of your music or in the statement of the way you maintain your own lives? In other words,
both go hand in hand. Both go hand in hand. You can't live a life on stage and live a normal life differently.
Okay, you're right. So you, in other words, do not use drugs yourself. Do not do music that professes the use of drugs as a great way of life.
Contrary to that.
The opposite.
Contrary.
Of that, yeah.
Do you guys sell big?
No, not yet. Not yet.
You think good will ever sell? And I don't mean good in a sense of culturally good, artistically good. I mean good in Mr. Goody Two Shoes.
Well, we're trying to make a living like Ace and everybody else, but it doesn't matter for us. We're just trying to make a difference. And whether we go, multi-platinum, as KISS did starting out, that's not really what our whole purpose is.
Who do people have to go to bed with to get records? I'd like to know who Ace went to bed with, or who went to bed with Ace to give him a record, all right? We're going to find out. Let's go.